And a celebration for the Carr family tonight. Congratulations. One event left. The heavyweights. Gannon Gremmel, redshirt junior from Dubuque, Iowa. He is the number 2 seed. And he will be opposed by Brian Andrews of the Wyoming Cowboys. Wyoming's lone finalist tonight. He's a junior college transfer from NEO in Miami, Oklahoma. Originally from Grapevine, Texas. He's the number 5 seed.
Well, I'm really anxious to see this match because I don't know what to expect. Gannon Gremmel's been very solid this year. He was 5th last year at the Big 12, but he's improved. He's stepped up his game. He's been much more aggressive this year. Brian Andrews, on the other hand, I did not expect to see in the finals, but as the number 5 seed, he's done quite well. And these guys, especially Gremmel, he likes to be aggressive. He likes to go on the attack. Now, Andrews, and these are pretty good-sized guys. Gremmel weighed in at 272, and Wyoming's Andrews weighed about 261. So a little bit of a weight advantage there for Gremmel. He was an NCAA qualifier last year. Now, he won 3-1 over Andrews in the Las Vegas tournament.
Shake hands.
But Andrews, according to his coach Mark Branch, said he's really got good turns. He needs to find a way when he's on top to get a turn. He said that would be huge. He's better off doing that than he is on takedowns.
3-1 was the final in the first meeting that Jay mentioned at the Cliff Keen out in Vegas.
I like that Wyoming singlet with the big cowboy on the bucking bronc on the back of it. That's kind of a neat look.
You're a big fan of wearing your school colors on your singlet.
Yeah, you don't even want to bring that up. You'll get me started.
I was trying to get you down the wrong road.
Producer's just about to turn the truck over right now, saying, no, don't pitch in that. I'm glad to see Gremmel, though, in the Cardinal and Gold of Iowa State, because they had some guys today that wore black and white, which I still haven't figured out why, but I like
kids like it, Jay.
Colors. I know. I like to see those school colors.
Brian Andrews flipped this heavyweight division on its ear when he upset Tate Orndorff.
Work for action, guys. Show
in
me some
tiebreaker 2, 7-3, and bounced the top seed.
And we really shouldn't be that surprised that we have the 2 and 5 seed, but because this is a very balanced heavyweight field with 7 qualifiers.
Mark Branch, 12th year head coach of the Cowboys, watching his man Brian Andrews, and he's kind enough to let CT in for a little visit here.
Yeah, Chatty, as Coach Brian came up short against his opponent earlier this year. Different tactics in this match. What changes?
It was a close match before. You know, it may come down to a takedown. You know, you want to pick your spots and not make mistakes, but you got to take your chances too. So just got to take some chances and believe in his shots.
Coach, he's had a successful run so far this weekend. What has he been doing so well?
Well, he's limited mistakes, and he's had 2 overtime victories, and kept his composure in those situations. And
out of the fingers.
A situation like that. So I like what I've seen this weekend, and I'd like to see him be more offensive. But
thanks, Josh.
Things sometimes tighten up in these situations, so we'll see how they both wrestle here.
Folks, thanks for letting us in the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mark Branch, thank you, CT. One of the real nice guys in collegiate wrestling, Mark Branch.
Well, and I mentioned about this heavyweight class here in the Big 12. Gremmel, the number 2 seed, Andrews number 5, but Gremmel's ranked 12th nationally, Andrews 17, so there were 7 heavyweights ranked in the top 20 out of the Big 12. So there was not a dominating favorite. Orndorff was technically the favorite, but you knew it could go about any direction once they started here because there just wasn't one or 2 dominant guys that you knew would be in the finals.
That'll do it for period 1 in the heavyweight class. The 2 overtimes that Andrews won. Tate Orndorff, not just a win, he won 7-3 in tiebreak 2, so was able to really produce some activity at the end. Had plenty of gas in the tank to win that one.
This is where Andrews
Top
caution
moving
on
quick.
the bottom
Just
end
wait
there.
for my whistle, guys, all right? Red, reset. Red, you're set.
Green,
Stay
I'm sorry,
still.
green on
cover legal.
Andrews. This is where, can he get a turn? He's good on top, but we'll see. Good spin move there by Gremmel. He's almost out. Good recovery by Andrews. one 2-point near fall in this match, which could be huge, but Gremmel is out pretty easily.
So after a scoreless first period, Gannon Gremmel, with the escape, scores the first point of our heavyweight championship bout.
And again, as Mark Branch said, one takedown could be huge in this. If you only followed college wrestling recently, Mark Branch, the Wyoming head coach, was probably the most unlikely NCAA champion in history. When as a freshman, he went in with an 8-13 record and won the NCAA championship at 165 pounds back in 1994. Ended up being a two-time champion, four-time NCAA finalist, and just was a whale of a wrestler, and just really came out of nowhere the last half of his freshman year when they put him in the lineup. And just, you like to see those Cinderella type stories, you know, a number 10 seed when he wasn't even seeded or anything. So you see those every now and then. Somebody seeded 7th, 8th, 10th, or whatever gets on fire at the tournament and wins the whole thing.
Out of the fingers.
You'll see that with seniors a lot of times. Even if they don't win it, you'll see some senior that's been decent his whole career, but not great. Maybe he's 10 or 11 or 12 seed and gets to the finals.
They see the finish line.
Yeah, they suddenly say, hey, this is it. If I don't do something now, that's it. And they just put it all together the last month of the season.
Under 30 seconds remaining in period 2. The only point and escape in this period by Iowa State's Gannon Gremmel.
Nobody's really been bold enough to shoot a real serious leg shot yet. And with heavyweights, it's so easy to get countered when you do if you're not the quickest. So they want to be really, really sure. And with Andrews being a little smaller, his coach said if he does shoot a leg, he needs to not get caught underneath. You might want to shoot a swing single or an outside single.
Well, Andrews will get a chance to start down, see if he can escape and tie this matchup. Kevin Dresser, the Iowa State head coach over there, he's crowned 2 champions tonight. Ian Parker at 141, defeated defending Big 12 champ Dom Demas, and David Carr at 157, also a champ. Iowa State.
I think Gremmel is going to be serious about trying to get the ride. Spiral ride, he applies it briefly. Andrews to his feet, though, and gets out easily. And Gremmel said, I'm just going to let him go. I thought he might really see if he could get the riding time at least. Ride him enough to get a minute, because that could very well decide this the way it's going.
Work for action, guys. Work for action.
So 1-1 and a minute 30 left in the final bout of the night.
Show me offense. Out of the hands.
The reason I thought that, there's not been a hint of a close takedown on your feet. Not a hint of it. So I just thought Gremmel might really try hard to put a ride on.
Head on shots. Stall warning.
Stall warning. And there's a good leg shot. And Andrews gets the 2. Good move by Andrews.
Brian Andrews, the takedown with a minute 10 left. He has a 3-1 lead.
Ironically, that was just a few seconds after he got warned for stalling. He took it. That's far and away the best move of the night offensively.
What did you say? Oftentimes at the heavyweight spot, when you shoot, the counter comes quickly and you can't get out of the way. There's the escape for Gremmel. 3-2. No riding time for either wrestler.
Now, Gremmel obviously has to pick up the pace. Now, he's got to score. A stalling warning, however, against Andrews, so he's got to be somewhat aggressive. Another stalling call would tie the match.
Another one of those and a back out. Now we see
counter by Andrews.
Andrews had that leg.
And here comes Gremmel trying to get rid of that leg and get 2. And he's got, nope, didn't secure the far leg.
And they are out of bounds.
He went off.
Now Mike Kevin Dresser called for a replay on this.
Almost had it. Watch this. There's Andrews with the original takedown right there. Really nice shot. Completed it easily.
I'll tell you what, Gannon Gremmel came over and told the coaching staff, hey, I got that. Let's review this.
Well, the only question I have is when he secured the second leg, his toes were either on the line or just outside the line, and I couldn't see it for sure.
Now, important to remember here, they are reviewing whether or not it was a takedown. A takedown was not called. So bear that in mind. They will have to see indisputable evidence that there actually was a takedown. Jay, what do you think?
Well, let's see. Here's Andrews in, but now Gremmel starts to counter, and he comes to the side, and he has the left leg secured. Now let's see when he gets the right leg. He doesn't have it yet. Well, we can't see his foot. Once he got that right leg secured, where was his back foot?
It's going to be tough to tell whether or not the back foot was out of bounds.
It's really hard to tell. No security, no security. Now he's got it, but that toe looks out to me. But
what about the right foot? Was it in?
Couldn't see. I think the right one was. Call was confirmed. No takedown.
No
I got one right.
So 17 seconds left. It is still 3-2. Brian Andrews.
Keep in mind, Andrews has a stalling warning, so if it's too passive, he could get hit again, and we'd be tied.
Gremmel needs a takedown. Andrews tries to lock him up and fend him off. 5 seconds left. Brian Andrews.
Andrews hanging in. I think he's going to get it done.
Ride 'em Cowboy. Brian Andrews is a Big 12 champion at heavyweight. The number 5 seed.
Good job. This way. Now turn around.
So how about Brian Andrews for Mark Branch and the Wyoming Cowboys?
Good move by Andrews for that takedown. I'm impressed.
Look at the final scramble and the flex for a Big 12 champion. Brian Andrews, a 3-2 win over Gannon Gremmel in the final bout of the evening.
And Wyoming.